Welcome to Planet Earth. I'll be your tour guide today. If you have any questions along the way, make sure to comment them and I'll answer them after our journey ends. Here the current population is just under 7.5 billion people. There's a lot to see here, so let's take a look. We won't be able to see everything on this tour, but I'll show you some cool things you might not have seen before. We'll start in Africa, where some of the Earth's earliest humans originated. Over 1.2 billion people live on this diverse continent. Some of them travel to the Sahara Desert, which is almost as big as the United States. Africa also has some world record geography too, as it is home to the world's longest river, the Nile, which is 4,258 miles long. They didn't stop there though. Victoria Falls is the world's largest waterfall, being over 1 mile wide. Traveling on the Nile allowed for many villages to be created, bringing over 1,500 unique languages to come into fruition. The animal population is flourishing as well, as you can view it at the Great Migration in Tanzania, where over 1 million wildebeest and zebras travel north and south throughout the year. More astonishing landmarks are the Great Pyramids of Giza. Many people came together to use millions of bricks to build the giant structures there, all without any power tools. Though the languages may be different, all of the people there all share and cherish a common animal, the African elephant, which is the world's largest land animal. Speaking of large things, let's head over to Asia, which is the world's largest continent. Welcome to Asia. Asia is home to over 48 individual countries, and when combined, amount to a population of 4.4 billion people. That's more than all of the other continents combined. A huge majority of these people are here thanks to the world's first and second most populated countries being in Asia. Those countries being China and India, with populations of 1.4 and 1.3 billion people respectively. The huge number of people brought some struggles, however. In China and India, since the air is so polluted, some people even buy canned air from other more clean countries. Asia is also home to the world's highest and lowest points, from the peak of Mount Everest to the deepest valley in the Dead Sea. Keeping with the theme of peaks, Asia also has 9 of the 10 tallest skyscrapers in the world. Only the US can infiltrate that list with One World Trade Center at number 6. The world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa, is located in the Asian country, the United Arab Emirates, and across the Persian Gulf lies the world's richest country, Qatar. People in Qatar have an average GDP per capita of about $125,000. Asia has stunning natural beauty from the Maldives to Tokyo. Many enormous cities have taken up the land, but beauty still remains whether you're becoming a hero on the Great Wall of China or you're summiting Mount Everest or Mount Fuji. You just have to be able to speak with nature to love what Asia has to offer. Now we still haven't addressed the world's largest country. The biggest continent is home to the grandest country. Well, kind of. Asia has to share Russia. Since it is absolutely enormous, Russia is also in Europe. Let's head on over there next. Europe is quite small. Russia takes up 40% of Europe's landmass, but that hasn't stopped Europe as it is still the 3rd most populated continent. Europe doesn't have as big of a language variety as Africa, but it still has around 250. Not too shabby if I do say myself. You may be thinking, what are all of these people thinking about? This answer is the same in many other places, and it's Disney. Disneyland Paris is Europe's most visited place with over 14 million annual attendees. The magic doesn't end there, as in Iceland there are no mosquitoes. How magical. You can also explore and see the Eiffel Tower in Paris, or the Roman Colosseum in Rome. There is also lots of food. In fact, Sweden has more McDonald's per capita than any other European nation. If McDonald's doesn't fancy you, maybe something else will. Europe has some of the best foods, from Belgian chocolates to Swiss cheese to croissants. You'll have to eat up when you go to Greenland. Though it sounds like a warm place, it's actually very chilly, with the highest summer temperatures under 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Greenland is the world's largest island, and 3 times smaller than our next continent, Australia. Greetings from Canberra, the capital of Australia. That's right, Australia isn't just a continent, it's also a country, so it has its own capital. The country is home to a very diverse arrangement of animal life. This is why Australia has the world's longest fence, which spans almost 3,500 miles, or 5,600 kilometers. This wall wasn't to keep any people out, just the dingo population. Australia has long aimed for peace in the world, and was one of the founding countries in the United Nations. Also, the continent has so many beaches, it would take 27 years to see them all at a 1 beach a day pace. Even with all these beaches, before 1908, it was illegal to swim in the water by these beaches. Luckily, as the story goes, one man went out and defied the rules, and the rest of the people eventually came too. About 24 million people came, and today live there. Australia isn't the only place with beaches though. Beautiful beaches also continue on the beautiful continent, South America. The flight from Australia to Rio de Janeiro won't be the quickest though, with flights estimated to be 18 or more hours long. The flight is worth it though, since South America is home to some of the most stunning areas in the world. Throughout the 12 different countries, there are many different things to do. Soccer is one staple throughout the countries, with the very first World Cup being held in Uruguay, and Brazil's national team has won the most championships out of any country, currently with 5. These countries can be linked by one river, the Amazon River, which Amazon.com is named after, has the most water volume of all the rivers in the world. The river also has over 15,000 tributaries branching off of it. Not one for water travel? You can also take the most dangerous road in the world, which weaves along the edge of a mountain in Bolivia. Is seeing all of the wonders of the world on your bucket list? In Rio de Janeiro, the statue of Christ the Redeemer is now considered one of the 7 wonders of the world. The statue weighs 1.4 million pounds and casts a large shadow, as it is 124 feet tall. Though Portuguese is the first most spoken language in South America, Spanish is close behind at number 2. This is the same in the continent right above, North America. Home to 23 countries, there are just 3 that take up 80% of that space. Those countries being Mexico, the United States, and Canada. The continent has 579 million people in total and has a diverse group of people living here. The people here can spend their time in many different places. In America, there are many things to do, from deserts and beaches on the west, farmlands in the middle, and forests on the east, and you'll never run out of things to do here. The climate varies greatly throughout the zones, from scorching heat in Mexico, Central America, and southern United States, to almost frozen up in Northern America and into Canada. North America is also a sports-oriented population, with the most Olympic gold medalists currently. North America is also home to the MLB, NFL, and NBA, to name a few professional sports leagues. Fields aren't just for sports, however. Over 400 tornadoes strike North America every year, but it still survives and grows half of the world's corn supply. There are some parts of North America you can't grow corn in though. North America has its coldest parts in Canada and Alaska, but there is one place colder, that being Antarctica. With just under 5,000 non-permanent residents, Antarctica is used for scientific research. Though it won't be hot, Antarctica is considered a desert due to the low amounts of rainfall it receives. Antarctica is a peculiar continent, as it doesn't have any countries within it. Rather, it is shared by many countries' governments. Though the scarcity of humans, Antarctica is home to some of the coolest animals. Seals, whales, and lovely penguins are just some of the many. Polar bears don't live here though, as they are across the globe in the North Pole. A wind from the Antarctic might be able to take you across though, with winds upwards of 200 miles per hour in the freezing continent. Now let's get back to someplace warm to finish up our trip. On behalf of all of the staff here at World Travels, thank you for taking a tour with us today. We will now return to a warm beach in Hawaii to warm back up and relax after that incredible journey. Leave a postcard in the comments and tell me where you've been and where you want to go now. If you like to escape the hustle and bustle of life and want to relax and find out new things on the way, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. I hope to see you next time here on Sparkpass.